Well, you've seen our predictions for WrestleMania. Part 1 is done. We'll see how we did. We'll talk about that this week. But what we want to talk about right now, before the rest of WrestleMania, we're taking a little break. We want to talk about the other shows that we've been to. The independent shows, we've been to different conventions, or really one major convention. We just want to talk about our experiences and things that we thought were kind of cool.
Yeah. So my first ever conventions, because I went. Oh, so Houston was the first time I went to an independent show when I went to WrestleMania and a convention.
Okay.
So I went to ROH's Supercard of Honor.
Okay.
At Houston, and I went to Booker T's. It was like a WrestleCon kind of thing.
All right.
Booker T was doing. Booker T had Kevin Nash there, Sting, Mick Foley, Booker T, his wife, Tully Blanchard, Ivan Putski.
Okay.
I'm not a big autograph person, so I just got Tully Blanchard's. That was it.
But I feel like it was also nice to just see them like in person, or as person as you can be without
the only
walking up to him.
The only two you couldn't see was Sting and Mick Foley because they were behind a curtain because that was like a VIP.
I always have to have one or two VIPs.
Yes. So the convention it was a convention hall we were at. Upstairs was they were doing Ring of Honor. I didn't have a ticket yet because really didn't. No, I knew what Ring of Honor was. It was just I always try to manage my time.
Right.
And so I was like, all right, so I'll go to Ring of Honor.
You had time? You testing it out?
Yeah. I had to go get a ticket though. The only ticket they had was first row for that show.
Money.
No, it was $55, I believe.
Oh shit! Should have bought like 3.
Oh no, there was only one ticket left.
So your first independent show ever?
Not first independent, first ROH.
Okay, so first ROH show.
First WrestleMania independent show, ROH. Yes.
Okay, and you got front row.
Yes.
That's bomb.com. Sorry.
Yeah. It was a great show. The rope actually broke during the match. One of the matches.
Did they have matches after that?
Oh yeah.
Did they fix the rope?
Oh, it was the second match.
Oh boy.
Second or third match.
I'm assuming they had extra ropes with them.
No.
They just didn't bounce off that side of the rope?
No, so they finished the match. Like I remember one wrestler goes, I know what Andre the Giant feels because it was the top rope that snapped. So after the match, they fixed it. During they were fixing it, somebody had cake in the audience. Do not know why or how. And a wrestler now who's with the WWE, not as a wrestler, but one of the background people, was a ROH booker, a producer booker at the time.
All right.
He's outside. He's out making sure everything's going well. He heard cake. He runs over and gets a piece of cake.
He eats the cake.
Yes. I mean,
I'm still trying to figure out how the heck somebody brought in cake.
There was no security. You're in a. It's not like to go into WWE where you can.
Oh, where you pat down. Nope, can't take in food. Yeah. Nope.
No. The show was like tremendous. I mean, Bryan Danielson was on the card. Yeah, Kenta versus Davey Richards. Nigel McGuinness versus Jerry Lynn. That's the night that Jerry Lynn won the ROH title. Colt Cabana versus D'Lo Brown. It was just one of the best cards I ever saw.
What else we got?
Arizona saw 2 ROH shows.
You talk about Arizona. I'm going to go get some water.
Both shows were great. I've seen seen Seth Rollins, who was Tyler Black at the time, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, who was Kevin Steen, and really El Generico for Sami Zayn. Well, every time I go, ROH does not never disappoint. The ones I have been to never disappointed. So WrestleMania 27, I did 2 ROH shows again. Great shows. Again, I saw where they did WCW Saturday night show where they used to tape it both nights. 28 until 29, it was always ROH shows I would go to.
I went with you to 29, didn't I?
Yeah, no, I said all.
Oh,
No,
okay.
no, it was
Like, wait, I remember that number.
28 was in Fort Lauderdale, and that was like a 45-minute drive.
Hmm.
But my dad called up the hotel and see if they can get us a shuttle.
No.
They did. Got a
Did
shuttle,
they?
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Because there was more people that were going to the show
It
too.
was probably more conducive for them.
Yes.
Did they charge you for the shuttle?
I think like $10.
Okay, so they made money off of it.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah. Same classic characters in the show.
Okay.
But like I said, I had not been to a RO show that was not bad.
I mean, I've really enjoyed ROH.
I mean, I am lucky because people said no. There's been some stinkers.
But I think you just hit that timeline of like all the good wrestlers.
Yeah, like I tell you, is there's wrestling fans and there's WWE fans.
Correct.
Because
I've seen that.
I seen the Young Bucks at ROH in Fort Lauderdale. I seen wrestlers that are forming in AEW right now or WWE that are
Right.
So
he's not brand specific when it comes to wrestling. He's wrestler specific.
Yeah, I mean, I told the cable company here that I got another cable company because you don't get a channel because they have two wrestling.
They're always asking to switch, and no money in the world will help if we can't get wrestling.
Yeah, 29. We went to the ROH show where Jay Briscoe won the world title.
I think that was like my first time seeing the Briscoes.
Yes, yes.
And I think I'm not gonna lie. I think I fell in love, babe.
Okay.
They're just amazing. I couldn't take my eyes off of them.
I don't think you saw. Yeah, Mark, I think, was wrestling because Jay was wrestling in a world title match,
right,
against Kevin Steen, who's Kevin Owens now.
Who I probably said this before, the first time I've ever seen him, and it wasn't at a WrestleMania weekend or anything. It was in Rahway, New Jersey, at my first independent ever. And Steen at the time,
yes,
he actually spit water in my face.
Yes.
So had no idea what was happening. First show ever. Didn't know that they do that. And I wasn't sure if I was excited or disgusted. That was my little caveat. But
WrestleMania crowds going to ROH is awesome.
Oh, it's so amped.
It's so electrifying. Any of the independent shows I've been to. Mm-hmm. Because we went to the next day we went to Dragon Gate.
Yeah, that was that was New Japan.
No, that was Dragon Gate.
That was Dragon Gate.
Dragon Gate was in 29 at the Middle-Atlantic Convention Center.
Okay.
With WrestleCon.
We went to so much extra wrestling, not just WrestleMania and WWE events. I got confused.
We went to WrestleCon first in the morning. That was our first WrestleCon. Mm-hmm. We actually stayed with some of the wrestlers at some. So WrestleCon, I think that was actually the first WrestleCon they had.
Okay, it could have been.
And met a lot of wrestlers there. Met DDP. There we got DDP. We actually bought DDP yoga that day. Mm. We met Jake, Kurt Angle, Nigel McGuinness, saw Don Morocco, Mr. Fuji, Demolition.
Is that where we met? Was it Steamboat? No. What's his name?
That was that third.
Never mind, I'm jumping.
So that's a different story, because that's a story we should have told them 30.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, we can tell it now. So let's backtrack a little bit.
Well, we're still on 29.
Yeah, 29, but let's backtrack.
Oh, okay.
Because 30 we tried to get into WrestleCon and we couldn't. It
sold
was
out.
sold out. So 20. So we went to Dragon Gate. We went to WrestleCon. Sorry, we went to WrestleCon. Saw a bunch of wrestlers. I had to. There's only one wrestler I wanted to get an autograph, and I did. That was Hulk Hogan. We had nothing to do until midnight because
Because we were going to the midnight.
we were going to a midnight show.
Right.
So I was like, let's go to see if we can get tickets for Dragon Gate.
Yeah, I remember that.
We get the tickets for Dragon Gate, but we had like 4 hours to kill. So all right, we go back to the hotel.
God for it all being so close.
Yeah, it was walking distance. Our hotel was walking distance. We went to go get something to eat at the Sushi Palace. Not Sushi Palace.
No,
Little,
Sushi Palace is in our area.
Little Tokyo.
Little Tokyo.
Yeah. So we're sitting down. Next to us is a couple of wrestlers. She wants to go up there and say hello.
I didn't know at the time, that you shouldn't really.
It's not you shouldn't really. It's just being reasonable.
Right, and so I respected it, and I just gawked and stared.
Yeah, and so it was Sammy Callahan, Pac, and I think it was Ricochet also.
It could have been. I don't remember.
I
just remember seeing Sammy.
And it was a couple females, but I think they were.
They could have just been
dating.
with them.
Yeah, they've been. Yeah. So we eat. We go to the show. We see Sammy at the table doing his merch. We go up to him and said, "Hello. We didn't want to bother you at the Little Tokyo." He goes, "Guys, you could have, but thank you for respecting my."
It was his family or friend time, So you don't want to get all up in somebody's grill when they're just trying to be with their people.
No, not at all. So the show was great. Like you said, Sammy Callahan was in there. Pac was in there. I think the Young Bucks were there too.
Could have been. There was a bunch of them.
I know Rich Swann was there, but that was one of the highlights of 29 that weekend.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So then we had to leave. Then at midnight we went to see $5 Wrestling. $5 Wrestling, if you don't know, is a bunch of show that shows a bunch of clips, botches.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a funnier, light-hearted kind of.
It was supposed to be like a comedy, wrestling comedy.
Which I had no idea that was supposed to be. I thought we were just going to go see more wrestling.
Yeah.
And I could barely stay awake at this point.
I mean, they did have one match. It was Freight Train.
I remember Freight Train
taking on somebody turn on. I had somebody turn on them. And that was the match. But everything else was botches.
It was an interestingly cheap night.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get back to 2 a.m.
And then we probably had to wake up early for the next day.
Yeah, we had to wake up early to go to WrestleMania the next day. But we went the next day. We went to Chili's and we saw 2 ROH stars eating at Chili's.
I don't remember who they were.
Let's put it this way: they're married.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was, but I remember they're married.
That works.
There's a female and male. So 30, like we said, we tried to get into WrestleCon, we couldn't.
Right.
It was just sold out, and that was a Friday. We tried to get in, and we said we're not going to try to do it Saturday.
We had other stuff going on too.
Yeah. Nothing wrestling related. I like to gamble a little bit. I'm not a gambler. Just so there was a casino there. I don't drink.
I do the drinking for both of us.
So she wanted to try the drinks on Bourbon Street.
It was fun.
So it was more to going to other wrestling shows.
Yeah, I think for me, it was more vacation, not wrestling. Even though it was like wrestling, but there was more downtime than like 29, whereas wrestling.
33. ROH was in Lakeland, Florida, where we're in Orlando. That's about a 45-minute ride.
It's not horrible.
30 minutes, 20, something like that. They had a lot of shows at the WrestleCon I wanted to go see, but they were starting late at night.
Mm.
some of them, or eight, and just didn't want to walk back and forth or take the car, honestly. And I love going to theme parks, and so I haven't been. That was the first time I've been in Universal in 10 years, so I wanted to go there
Gotcha.
instead. So 35, we went to New Japan and Ring of Honor show in Madison Square Garden.
One word.
I
Wow.
mean,
They did it right.
yeah, they did great show, surprises.
I don't think I knew most of the people on that card. I think I only know like knew a couple, like one or two.
Yeah, yes, you like I said, you just watch WWE. You're not
Yeah.
like me, where I watch New Japan, Impact.
Yeah, so I don't know anyone, but
A,
I do enjoy going.
well, I think you enjoy going to the independent shows more than you do WWE because you're right there
I was gonna
close.
say
Yeah.
doesn't have anything to do with the price or who's wrestling. I think it has to do with the experience. It's a more intimate setting,
Yes.
and you could see more, even if you're like in the bleachers or far away or something like. And I feel like in independence they react more and interact more with the audience than in like the big
Well,
WWE and
even the ROH show in Madison Square Garden, they did react because you had two wrestlers
oh yeah.
come out the fans that nobody knew was part of the
Hmm.
show. Everybody thought it was real.
Oh, I remember that.
But they had surprises. Like I'm a huge Great Muta fan, and I saw him when I was a younger kid wrestling in
Hmm.
WCW over here when they came over here.
Yeah.
But seeing him now, a older guy, and only could do little of his moves,
Right.
was like, but he was in the their Ring of Honor Rumble he was in.
Yeah, but at least you got to see him
Yeah,
again.
again, yeah. I mean it. I mean, seeing I'm surprised that he got inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame. Never wrestled in WWE at all.
Hey, they know him well enough.
Oh no, Triple H is knows what he's doing.
Hmm.
WrestleMania 35. I also went to a WrestlePro show here in Rahway.
Mm.
Well, that went before. It was like a Wednesday night.
Okay, so it was like during WrestleMania week,
Yeah, it was a week. Yeah, it
not
was.
the weekend.
No, because I think they did that because WrestleCon was in New York. Everything was in New York, so they
They had to bring
New.
something to Jersey.
Well, no, they did shows in Jersey City,
Yeah.
but I think everything. I think that was better off they did it in Rahway. I mean, I liked the show. It was called This Funny Equal Money.
It's funny equal money.
Yeah, they had like Cole Cabana wrestling.
That was the one I was gonna say, and he's one of my favorites.
Cole Cabana. They had a blindfold match.
Mm.
You had Hornswoggle wrestle there. It was a great show. I like I said, I cannot say all out of the independent shows. I cannot say I had not been to a bad independent show for WrestleMania weekend weekend.
WrestleMania week, I'd
Yeah,
say.
yeah. But I've been to stinkers for WrestleMania. 1985. I was going in for my second or third surgery.
On your leg.
Yeah, yeah. I was in a body cast this time
Okay,
for the
so
surgery. So my dad wrote a note to Titan Tower WWE, but it was WWF at the time, saying I'm going for surgery. They wrote back saying yes, not some of the wrestlers want to meet you, but you can go in the background and
yeah, so like, hey, you have tickets. Why don't we give you a little backstage tour kind
yeah,
of thing?
yeah. So we get there, and I met Hillbilly Jim, Junkyard Dog, and Ricky Steamboat. Ricky Steamboat says, "I'll pray for you." Took a picture with him.
That was very nice.
So 20 years later, I still had the picture. I seen him at a independent show. Gave him the picture. He goes, "I remember that." Signed my picture. I don't know where it is. I'm hoping it's in my mom and dad's house.
There's a
And
good possibility. might have gotten destroyed in the
but-
flood.
Yeah.
But we still have the memories.
Yes. So WrestleMania 30 comes up. Ricky Steamboat's there. She goes. Lindsay goes.
Well, first he tells me the story, and I go, you think he's going to remember?
I was like, no.
So, we introduced ourselves, and I said, I don't know if you remember, but, and then he told the story, and then what did he say?
You're how old now? And that
he was like, I remember you. I remember the story. Damn, I'm getting old.
Yeah. And he
was really, really nice guy.
Yeah, that was the story. It was we did the Cliff Note version of it.
Yeah. You don't need to sit here all day watching us just talk about it.
Yes.
Because we could go down memory lane on everything.
Yes, very much so.
So we hope you enjoyed our series. We hope you enjoyed this. And we hope you enjoy the rest of your WrestleMania week.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.